Hello out there in cryptocurrency land. Welcome back to Real Crypto. Thanks for joining me once again today. All right, guys. So looking forward to the Power Hour tomorrow. I'm actually pretty excited. If you guys and gals are watching this video, keep an eye out for your email. You're going to get some instructions on how to go ahead and access the live stream that we will be doing tomorrow. For the rest of you, we're going to go ahead and look at the general markets here. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin, which is getting some bullish action finally. Now, are we out of the doldrums? Have we seen the bottom in Bitcoin? It doesn't quite look like we've seen the bottom in Bitcoin. The overall general trend hasn't changed, but we have seen a pretty good bottoming candle right here in Bitcoin on the daily chart. And if we dig down to the 2-hour time frame, which as you guys know is our nice intermediate time frame that I like to use, as you can see, we have a huge, beautiful green candle. Little red candle with plenty of volume here, which this actually, believe it or not, indicates that there is some buying down here. And if we zoom out a little bit, we can see the last rally that we had right here. And you can see the complete and utter difference in the volume signature here versus here. So this rally does have a little bit of legs behind it. All right, unlike most of these rallies, it has a little bit of legs. Now, earlier today, I thought we were going to break down off of this big downside candle, but we did not. We actually stayed stable and then trended higher, which is bullish. And this run up here looks to me like it, in time, may lead us to go into the 200-day moving average, which, as we talked about last time, was breached quite definitively, mind you, quite definitively. Looks like we're going to go back up and have some kind of a retest up here. Not sure if we get all the way back down here, but we are going to get up here towards the 200-day. More than likely, I think this rally has enough legs to go up, maybe 1,000 points, something like that. So as we get higher here, you're really going to want to stay cautious on this trade, however, if you do that. And there's some proper techniques you can use, with stop losses and entries to make that happen. But overall, you're going to run into a bunch of resistance right here in this box area, which did cap the move here. Let me go back down to the 2-hour chart. So as you can see here, as you can see here, I drew this box of resistance right here. This box really came into play. Let me go ahead and encapsulate this action. This box came into play because of these two lows. And this action was capped up in here. I think this was one of my free power hours last week. What was that, like Friday or something? We talked about this being resistance. Definitely proved to be exactly that. Moved over to the downside. This will prove to be some resistance if and when we go higher, and then maybe another leg up here, kind of towards this measured move. So that's kind of Bitcoin in a nutshell for now. But overall, still in a bear trend, ladies and gentlemen, still in a bear trend. Let's take a look at Ethereum, and then we're going to look at Litecoin. Ethereum was extremely oversold, and I'm not just talking from RSI standpoint. You could look at this chart and just tell that it had just been taken behind the woodshed and beaten to within an inch of its life. And it did have some nice capitulation volume, which has put in bottoms recently in Ethereum. Okay. Although these are not very bullish bottoms, to be quite frank with you, until we see further upside action, this is actually fairly weak bouncing. And then in Litecoin, kind of the same with Ethereum, although it has not been beaten down nearly as badly as Ethereum. Notice we have not come down here and tested these lows of recent history, where with Ethereum, that's exactly what we did. We breached these recent lows, okay? So Ethereum showing less relative strength than Litecoin is lately within the cryptocurrency space. So I think if we ever do get any kind of big rally, or when Bitcoin finally bottoms, Litecoin's really going to be one of those coins. I mean, as you saw here, guys, Litecoin goes down extremely far, then bounces up extremely fast. It's done this time and time again. I think Litecoin is one of those ones that's an excellent tradable coin. Trading it basically with Bitcoin, kind of almost as a proxy to Bitcoin. At least on the bounces. I think on the run ups, on the move ups, I think Bitcoin is still the one to be in. Obviously, Litecoin had the big parabolic run, and you could trade that on its own merit. But generally within these markets, Litecoin moves with Bitcoin. But these bounces are just spectacular. Like, you do percentages on these bounces. I mean, that's 50%, 70%, 50%. You don't get those kind of bounces, you know, in Bitcoin consecutively. I mean, here's 26%, you know, so, but overall, ladies and gentlemen, these coins are still extraordinarily weak. None of this is really bullish behavior. Like I've said before, we're in a bear market. These are mostly just bounces. You need to trade them accordingly and treat them as such, okay? Trade them accordingly and treat them as such. I haven't looked at too many other of the altcoins. Let's do that real quick. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Market cap, coin market cap. How did I forget that? So let's take a look at some of these bounces. So Ripple up 11%. We didn't look at Ripple. Cardano was just beaten within an inch of its life. They were down like 40%. It was ridiculous. So they're back, bouncing back pretty good here. So like we saw, Litecoin only bouncing up 3%, Ethereum only 3%. But you got Ripple, you got Cardano up huge, you got NEM up really big, and they were a big winner last week, if you recall, on my Sunday weekend review there. And then you got Omisego, Qtum up 10%. So you got a few coins doing really well here that were prior winners that were beaten down, that are trying to claw their way back. Status up 35%. So definitely some of the altcoins coming back, and they will bounce back faster than Bitcoin will, as well as sell off faster than Bitcoin will. So that is a double-edged sword. And also would like to point out the market cap's nicely above 300 billion. So that's something nicely to take into account as well. So all right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like cryptocurrencies are going to rally here for the next day or week or something like that. And then we'll probably continue the sell-off at some point in time. So don't get too bullish. Treat this for what it is, as a bounce, and trade accordingly. Keep your stop losses tight. Have a well-formed trading plan. And that's about all I got to say about the market, guys. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.